Thank you. Well, awesome. Top of the hour. I mean, we normally have a little bit of a question period, but if Andrew's here, we'll move forward. So for anybody just joining us now, welcome to the Passion Project Magical You Virtual Retreat. I'm your host, Kat Margulis. I'm an author, podcaster, book coach, and host of this Magical You Virtual Retreat, which is all about creativity, self-care, and spirituality, because they really are all one. They're all one. And when we take part in any one of these things, we are serving the other areas as well. So thank you for everybody who's joining us today. And also know that we've got 2 more speakers. So if you guys love that first one, feel free to share that. Feel free to share. There will be a YouTube link. So feel free to be sharing this with the people in your life. Feel free to invite people to the event for the next couple of hours. And with that, I'm going to present my next speaker. Hello, Andrea. This is Andrea Luzon. I will present. Andrea and her company Awakening Freedom Within. Andrea is going to share body activations to spark your power and show how to prioritize being authentically you and connect with the wild free woman inside of you. Creator of the Awakening Freedom Method, Andrea helps bold, heart-centered women reclaim the self-identity lost through adolescence, partnership, child rearing, and career. This means you get to start dreaming again, release your hidden blocks, and take consistent, committed action toward your desires. Andrea, yeah, I love you. Thank you for being here. Oh, you're on
mute. Awesome. That's a good way to start. Hi, everyone. I recognize a lot of faces, either from people I've known before, or you have been part of the retreat since day one, or you've popped in and out of the retreat. So thank you. And thank you to everyone who's courageously staying on camera. Like, truly, that is such a piece of our exploration. So hello, I know Brittany, I know Justina, I know Bonnie. I've gotten to know, let's see, Brandy Bet, I feel like you've been here the whole way. Laura, and let's see, Marina has been on here almost the whole time. Chantal, oh my gosh, you guys. And Paula, we are going to get to know each other because I know that you're Kat's sister. And so we get to have a powwow at some point. But just congratulations for showing up for yourself. First and foremost, just a moment of acknowledgement that you are just going on this journey with Kat today. I really want to thank you, Kat, for creating a fun and safe space for people to connect with all sorts of parts of ourselves. I'm kind of pointing up and down the chakra system for those of us who are kind of chakra nerds. So today we're here to explore some body activations. We're going to tap into your wild, free, for most of you here, this is your wild, free woman. Maybe someone's watching the replay, or maybe someone's off camera and you want to connect with your wild, free man, or your wild, free inner child, or that wild, free aspect of you that sometimes gets a little tamped down in society or in the roles that we play. So we're going to ignite that aspect of you. And if you don't already have a journal and a pen, that might be a fun thing to grab. And while you're doing that, let me see a show of hands. Who has been saged before? Who's been saged? Yay? Nay? Wow, not a lot. Okay, today's your first. So I grow sage, and apparently it's not the sage that you eat that is the one that you burn and that smells really nice. I found that out the hard way. I was like, oh, cool. So I can eat it. Like I can grow it in my garden and eat it, and then I can turn it into bundles and burn it. Nope, not the same herb. So a little lesson for everybody. So this is called white sage. And so I'm going to bring this towards the camera and kind of, if you've ever smelled burning sage, I would love for you to just flutter your eyelids closed for a moment and just kind of imagine. Now I wouldn't want to hold it in front of your face if we were together, but I would go up and down your body, the front, and I might have a really beautiful eagle feather or a turkey feather and kind of gently waft it across, like towards your front of your body. And then I'd go around behind you and I would take the sage and kind of gently waft it towards you, up and down your backside. And then for fun, we would have you lift one foot. So just imagine, or lift up a foot and imagine that I waft your foot, and then lift up your other foot and I waft the other foot. And we might even go around your head once. So this is really just it's interesting, we talk a lot about practices and what practices do we have in our lives that serve us. And I just find that this kind of clearing can just it's just really fun. And if you're believing it, then know that the intention is that you're coming into this space clear and ready to expand. So that's really the intention is I'm clearing out any garbage that I came to this session with. So I know that you got to feel a lot of feels in the last session. And so now you get to start and be in a new moment and a new exploration with yourself. So just holding space for all of you on that. So you've been saged. So you've been saged. Okay. So who am I? I'm Andrea Luzon, Legacy Liberator. My journey, I just love when speakers share a little bit about what brought them to the work that they share with people. So my journey is from good girl living under my parents' roof, which was a bit of a struggle because I have a rebellious streak. So trying to please my parents, trying to please society was difficult. And then in my 20s, I got to tap into that wild woman. I got to be expressive. I traveled, I journaled, I started understanding what it is to follow intuition and follow bliss. I got a taste of it. And then into my 30s, I became a homeowner and wife and mother, career woman. And that really triggered a lot of my coping mechanisms from my childhood. If I couldn't be good enough, I found that if I put on the hat of like control or if I put on a hat of people pleaser, that got me through performing for people. And yet, that process beginning in my 30s led me to ending that decade with a sacred triad breakdown, which is your mind, body, spirit, just big time breakdown. So what those are the cliff notes of why I'm here to stand for you, not having a part of your reawakening be a giant breakdown. Like your wake up call doesn't need to be debilitating in any way. So I'm here now in this work supporting women reconnecting with their authentic identity, which I often refer to as your love legacy. That when you're tuned into your life force, when you're tuned into your authentic essence, you are imprinting on the world. And I like to call that imprint your love legacy. And you're imprinting on yourself all the time as well. So the imprint radiates outward, but it really starts with how am I talking in here and how am I feeling in here? The mind, body, spirit connection. That's really the love legacy. So are you imprinting from your love legacy or are you imprinting from your woundedness and your self-protection devices? And who might have any self-protection devices that you use? Anybody? Self-defense mechanisms at all? It might be fight, flight, freeze, appease. A lot of us have, when we go to that place, we have a coping mechanism that we've utilized to get us through life. So I know that I have struggled with that. And so that's part of the work, I believe, is coming home to yourself so that your imprint is coming from a pure place. So I help women reclaim that love legacy, clear the blocks and barriers. Sometimes I call it our bullshit, our patterns, clearing those, and then creating the life that you want, like creating the life that is in line with your soul calling, the life that your soul is asking you to take steps towards. And often our inner protectors don't want that because it's different, it's new, we don't know it as well. So that's what brought me here. Okay, so quick overview again. What we're going to activate today is exploring your activations to tap into your power. We're going to connect with the wild, free woman inside you. And we're going to connect with how are we currently prioritizing connecting with our freedom, our authenticity, and maybe also how are we not prioritizing with that deeper connection, that authentic expression. So let's be real in regards to where we are coming from today. Were you wild growing up? So I'd love for if you feel like you were wild growing up, go ahead and put wild in the chat. Connect with that. If there were moments that you were wild, the wildness did come out on occasion. I'd love for you to write moments in the chat. And this is just kind of getting our interaction going. Were you tame when you were younger? If so, I'd love for you to write that you were tame. And so this kind of allows us to see each other through the chat, see how we've been showing up. I'm going to make this chat a little bit bigger so I can connect with all of you and read that. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of wild moments, sometimes wild or somehow wild. Wild, late bloomer, LOL. Moments, wild child, yes. Yes, tamed, okay. Good girl gone bad. No, I was not. So no, I was not wild, I presume. Uh, or maybe no, I was not tamed. I don't know. Feel free to write the word that landed for you. Tame as a teenager, wild in my 20s. That's, yeah, Brandy Bet, I'm with you. Wild but shamed. Yes. Ooh, yes. And we're gonna, yes. Thank you for spelling that out. Okay, so Coach Laura, tame later. Eve was saying just like me, and Marina said wild. Okay, thank you. Thank you all for like connecting in with where you've been. So the past is the past, but it's also part of our story. And I know Kat is a book coach, and so she supports people with like, maybe your story is part of the book that you're writing. So this is fun that we're connecting with where we've been. So this is also helping me get to know you and see where we're starting from. There is no right way of being, and then there's no wrong way of being. So we can acknowledge the shame, but please know in this container, we will not be, we're not doing any shaming today. So the past is the past, and you can also clear it. We can choose another way, and it does require practice and awareness. I know Candace Johnson was on here yesterday, and she was saying that one hit wonder experiences of healing or therapy, that tends to be quite rare. That tends to be more of an anomaly. More more oftentimes it is you continuing to show up for your practice, continuing to clear what's not working, and that we're reprogramming the DNA. She was sharing a lot about the science of how our body is holding on to those stories, and our body reacts to the world before our brain even has a chance to come online. So true. So true. Okay. So I'd love to tap a little bit into freedom. Okay. So did you feel free while you were growing up? Were you in tune with your freedom? Feel free to write free in the chat. And if you did not feel free, or if you sometimes felt free, I would love for you to use a few words and put how you felt. And feel free to come off mute. We can explore that as well. But for the moment, write a few words about how you felt about your freedom. Maybe you felt fully expressed. Maybe you felt fully supported by your peers and your influencers in your life to be in your full expression. And maybe you felt caged, maybe you felt controlled, maybe you felt like you had to be obedient, or else the love would be taken away, or else the connection with your parents or your connection with the people raising you. Maybe there was fear there. So it's okay to remember and embody both extremes. So this is one thing that I'd love for all of us to embrace today, is it's okay to be the both and. It's okay to have moments of wild and freedom, and it's okay to have discipline and structure. It's okay to follow through and keep your word, and it's also okay to be spontaneous and just living life at its fullest and being flexible. So I'm going to read the chat in a moment, but I'd love for you to remember it's okay to embody both extremes. So today we're going to recreate and reclaim some of that wildness, the freedom, and we're going to let go of a bit of the stuckness, the control, the programming, and the expectation. So I'm going to open up the chat. Let's see, what do we have around freedom? Okay, so, I also see wild like a lion. Thank you, Chantal. Wild like a lion. Okay, so no, not much. Sometimes felt free. Okay, Bonnie sometimes felt free. When so Kat, I'm all like, is Kat, are you Kat and also passion project? Okay. When I was a late teenager, early adult, okay, you felt free later or earlier in your adulthood. Brittany free. Paula says, I felt like I should not be me from a very early age, told not to be wild, told not to be me. I feel you big time. We're kind of, a lot of us have been taught to tamp down the light, Like, oh gosh, girl, you shine too bright. Girl, you too much. Oof, wow. Okay, so wanting to let go or release. Brandy Bet, not free. As a teenager, I felt controlled. I was the only one who followed the rules in my house. I was the good girl and I felt constricted. Yes. Brandy Bet, are you by any chance the oldest? No.
I'm the middle,
You're the middle child.
but my
Interesting.
brother and my sister on either side of me both were wild, and
Uh,
I almost felt like I had to follow the rules to make up for what they were doing.
yeah. Oftentimes, middle children can be, they can tend to be peacemakers, mediators a lot of
Hmm.
times. That is fascinating. Awesome. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for sharing off mute.
Hmm.
Awesome. Okay, Laura, freedom was taken for granted until it became limited. Interesting. Yeah, so you were able to run that rope, and then when it was tugged, all of a sudden you realized that that your freedom was being called in. Okay, until some time ago. Okay, I hear you. I felt the same, a good girl who felt constricted. Okay, Eve, dim the light for sure. Mute my voice. Controlled. I closed off my heart at age 4. Mm. That's amazing awareness to be able to go back and see when the stoppage happened, or when did you notice that you stopped. That's a really important thing to be able to tap into, not relive a lot. We don't need to relive the breaking points, but it's really interesting to at least connect a bit with the feeling of like, when did I start to like cover myself up? When did I start to guard my light? That is fascinating. Thank you. I totally see that at home with my kids. Yes, I know. Structure and freedom. It's difficult in the parent role. Structure versus freedom. I totally hear that. And then Paula, you said you had your sister in front of you. Eve says, I protected myself against a very controlling mother. Contained from the beginning. Okay, thank you for seeing me. Yes, thank you all so much for sharing. This is so great. Would anyone want to share a bit more? Uh, this is a safe space to unpack a little bit. I know I read a lot of your comments. If anyone wants to come off mute and just share a little bit of maybe how you're reconnecting with that wildness, with that freedom, or what has your journey been like as you have sparked that side of yourself to come alive again? Yeah, go ahead, Paula.
Um, so I've been doing a really, really, really great job of focusing on my vision for like the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I've been really invested in the doing and creating the being. And something I'm noticing, thanks to Kat in this retreat, is that I'm so far from my wild, playful self. It's like, holy fuck. And I feel like I'm unable to breathe because of so much awareness that I have taken the lid off the boiling pot.
Yeah.
It's just like, holy fuck, there's so much energy. That's where I am today with you.
Yes, I love it. I've been with you for the last 3 days and I've really admired how vulnerable you're being, Paula. Truly. I mean, ooh, I'm gonna get emotional. I find often in the group environment, it is so heart opening to be able to witness another, like your bravery in just simply feeling your feelings in front of us and allowing your heart to crack open is very likely going to be your catalyst that supports you in reclaiming that wildness inside of you.
Thank you.
It's truly inspiring.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I hope that those tears are feeling like a cleansing, like because we shed that, there could be toxins in that you're just releasing out of your body, and then your breath gets to expand from like that point of like, I'm letting out the pain around this particular topic.
I don't think I've taken a
Cleansing.
proper deep breath in 2 years, unless I
Yeah.
see my Pilates instructor. That's the only
Yeah.
person who's like, wow, I'm breathing, or I'm in meditation with my coach like once a week. So twice a week, I'm breathing, I
There you
feel like.
go. There you go. And if we compare that to the past where we do hold our breath a lot, I know that I've had pain in my life around that, uh, assuming the worst, like assuming that people are going to judge, assuming I will be abandoned, assuming this person is being negative at me instead of maybe just having their own stuff. Holding the breath, holding our breath and not wanting to allow anything in, including air.
Mhm.
And we're not oxygenating the brain. We're not letting we're not letting our compassion online. We're not letting our logic online. We are responding from that wounded place. Like, I'm holding my breath because the other shoe's gonna drop. Yeah. So we're holding you high.
Thank you.
Has anyone ever tried beaming? Have you guys ever explored beaming? Okay, so beaming is fun. So you rub your hands together. This is really fun. Something I do in my women's empowerment group. And I'd love for us to send, it's like sending energy, but just offering everyone here, maybe go around with eye contact and sending everyone their connection with their wild today. So simply just opening up the hands. It's fun if they're on camera. It's fun if your hands are on camera. And just kind of look around the room and just see everyone here honoring and connecting with their wild and their freedom. So authentically, you are wild and free. Like inside of you, you are wild and free. Breathe it in and exhale it out. Maybe make a sound. Open your mouth and and a little bit of shimmying, squeezing the butt cheeks, rotating the hips. that really helps. Shake off something. Okay, and then take those nice warm hands and just place them over your heart for a moment. Place them over your chest. Inhaling in all the good vibes that we just shared together. Lovely. Thank you. Thank you so much. So to shift forward with our activation, what we are going to explore. So I'm going to push my chair back a little bit so you can see me. I hope you can still hear me. And just making it, okay, good. All right, I may have to turn to the side because my camera is so close today. Okay, so we are going to tune your spine. We are going to tune into your unique vibration by waking up your spine, your core, your throat, your heart. So we're going to start by, so make little cups, and you're going to grab the front of your knees with your little cups. So you're going to grab the front of your knees. I have to, okay, my chair is up so high. I have a little stool. So my feet are on a stool. So cup the front of your knees. And I'd love for you to, you're going to dip your chin down and begin to suck in your core. Don't suck too hard because every once in a while I'll get a cramp. But arching your back, rounding your back, curving it like you're a cat stretching. So I'm kind of like arching my back. So, and I like to hang on to the knees and tucking the chin. Great. Okay, so this will become more clear. So now go ahead and set your hands on your thighs. And now start to stick your chest out towards the camera. Like your nipples are going up and your chin is going up. And we're going to breathe in. And now you're going to, again, do the rounded. So cup the front of the knees and begin rounding. Tuck your chin, round your back. Blowing out air. Now hands on your thighs as you lean forward. Opening the heart, arching your back forward. Lifting the chin a little bit, feel your throat opening, feel your heart opening. Perfect. Okay, so now take a sip of air and we're gonna curve backwards, cupping the knees, tucking the chin. Lovely. Again, forward. So hands on your thighs as you press your chest forward, lifting your chin a little bit. And let's breathe in really deeply this time. Breathing in. And arch, rolling backwards, arching backwards. Okay, last time, I promise. So arching forward, hands on thighs, chin up. And arching backwards, cupping the knees, leaning back. Tuck your chin, blowing out air. All right. So now relax, relaxing. Beautiful. A little bit of a neck stretch here. So let's start with side to side, just dropping one ear to one shoulder. Okay, coming back up and breathing in. And now dip to the other shoulder, breathing out. Beautiful. Coming back up, breathing in. Dipping to the first shoulder. Beautiful. Blowing out air. Coming back up. And dipping to the second shoulder again. There we go. So coming back up. This time we're going to take a sip of air and dip your chin down. I like to interweave my fingers behind and do, it's not best to pull, but just allow the weight of your elbows to just create a stretch on the back of the neck. Beautiful. Okay, coming straight up and down, breathing in. And now we're just tipping the chin up a little bit, not too much. We don't want to crunch the back of your neck, but just creating a little stretch. Beautiful. So chin level again, breathing in. And now we're going to tuck the chin. And for me, I like the added bonus of just a little bit of a weight. Beautiful. Perfect. Okay, coming back to center and then looking at the ceiling one last time. Just a tiny stretch on the front. There we go. And coming back to straight. So there's your next stretch. Okay, my dears, this is your courageous part. This is where you stand for your wild, stand for your freedom. We are going to stand up. So moving chairs off to the side if you can. It'd be great if everyone could stay on camera. I'm going to keep, well, I'll be moving my camera up and down so y'all can see where we're going. Thank you to everyone who's willing to stand. And Lucia, come on, girl. I know you got tech to do, but jump in here with us. Unless Kat messages you and says sit back down. Okay. All right. So this is our sacral activation, my dears. And men, you are part of this too. So I'm going to do up and down with my camera a little bit. So I know I wore a baggy shirt today. I'm going to tuck this in. Hold on. Okay. So with your thumbs, actually, we're going to start with hands on hips. Hands on hips. Okay, I just want to clue you into we're activating the hip area. So moving to one side, stick your belly out, stick your pelvis out. So you're kind of leaning back a little. Other side, back. Okay, great. Side, forward, side. I kind of have my legs spread a little bit wide. That feels good for me. Also, I'm trying to be in the camera. If you would like to lower your gaze, like stop looking at the computer for a little bit, that would be great for you. Lower your gaze, soften your gaze, flutter your eyelids closed as long as you don't get dizzy. Does anyone kind of feel this in their hips a little bit? And now we're going to switch directions. So go to the opposite side first, then forward, and then the other side, and then back. So we're basically just switching directions. Beautiful. And see if you can stick your hip out a lot on this part. Kind of like really put your booty way out, hips out, forward as much as is comfortable on your lower back. Okay, wonderful. Now, my dears, we are going to put our thumbs almost in your belly button, and we're going to create a little downwards facing triangle. And we're going to explore all of this again. So starting with one side, rocking your hips forward, to the other side and back, side, front, side, back. And actually, we're going to alter this a little bit. We're going to do this a little bit different. So instead of all, side, front, side, we're going to tip your pelvis. So this time we're going to just kind of kink the hip, lift your mons pubis. Does everyone know the mons pubis? Tilt your pelvis up and then to the side. So you might want to bend your knees. And then so this is more of a pelvis tilt. Okay, so it kind of looks a little bit, I'm blending in with my background. Sorry, you guys. So it's almost like a booty roll. So your side, butt up, arching your back, side, pelvis up in the front. So a lot less of the big circle we were making. This is a pelvic bowl like rotation. Okay, beautiful. And go the other direction now. So your butt is up, you tilt to one side, pelvis up, tilt to the other side. So just feeling what that feels like. How is that different from the first thing that we did? And now, so this is where I would really love for you to thumbs in your belly button or on your belly button, creating that triangle. And now with your breaking a sweat. Awesome. It's a little toasty where I am too. Okay, so thumbs into the belly button, kind of creating that triangle around your sacral area. And now we're going to, again, just do the simple pelvic bowl rotation. Lower your gaze. And now let's start breathing, making sure we're breathing as we're connecting with this body. I'm feeling like, what was her name? Baby in the dancing? Shoot, now I can't remember the name of the movie. Someone help me with the movie. Baby, anyway, she was learning.
Dirty Dancing.
Thank you. Dirty Dancing. Yes, that's kind of what I feel like in this moment. So yes, and then now let's make sure you change directions. So again, we're kind of, so this should feel, you should be feeling something. Nobody puts baby in a corner. Yes, Brandy Bet, exactly. Okay, so we're doing this movement. Okay, so everyone go ahead and straighten up, and just put one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly underneath the belly button, and just breathe for a moment. And just kind of check in with anything coming forward, with anything bubbling up. Just checking in, just checking in. And when we're done with this, we're going to do a little bit of journaling. This is the next portion, my friends. We are going to isolate the rib cage. So we're connecting now with your heart, your throat, and your solar plexus. So now we're keeping everything under the belly button is staying still. And now we are moving our rib cage to the side, pushing those nipples forward, ladies, back arched, and to the other side. And now back. And don't fall over, you know, like and this is all for your own movement, whatever you can do. So forward, so leaning back, leaning to the other side, and forward, leaning to the side, leaning back, leaning to the other side, and forward. Beautiful. Now switch directions. There we go. Beautiful. Doing so great, you guys. Oh, so lovely. Okay, now we're going to explore this with your hands on your heart. You might want to touch your collarbones, or you may want to cross your hands in center, or hand on heart, whatever feels good for you. For comfort level, I kind of just stick my fingers on my collarbone and just kind of rest my hands on top of above my breasts. So here we go again. We are isolating the chest. And this time when you lean forward, really lift your chin up and open your expression, open your throat. Oh, open yourself up, leaning back, kind of tucking the chin to the side, opening up the chest, lifting the chin, opening the throat, leaning back to the side. And now switching directions, allow yourself to go to the other side first, and then back, and then the other side, and then forward with chin up. And now let's make sure we're breathing. So maybe breathing out on the back, and let's breathe in on the front. And moving back. And on the front, we're breathing in. And on the back, we're breathing out. Beautiful. Now, we are going to connect our hands and create a little heat, create some friction. Okay? I know, Paula, you already said you're hot. I'm actually pretty toasty too, but we're creating more heat. Create your fire. Okay, and now I'd love for you to open your hands just a little bit and just notice if you feel any tingles. Notice if you feel the heat. Bring them back together a little bit. Just notice if you feel any pressure in there, any sensation. No matter what you feel, understand that you are building energy. You build chi when you do this exercise. And then one hand on your heart, one hand down in the sacral. And let us just notice. Let's just be present. Be present to your heart. Be present to your creative womb mystery space. The place where our ideas are born, but only if we slow down enough. And the heart is your love, your self-love, your world love, your trust, your love legacy. Now imagine a bit of energy connecting your hands in line with your spine. Just allow yourself to see a bit of light moving up and down your spine, from your heart to your sacral area. Once you can see that light, allow it to drop down a bit, even further, connecting your root, the bottom of your tailbone, going back up the spine, and then see the light connecting with your throat, moving up the back of your scalp, in line with your third eye, the space between your eyebrows. And then that light comes up to the top of your head and maybe even hovers just a bit higher, your crown area, connecting you to the divine, connecting you to eternity, all that ever has been, all that ever will be. And below you, allow your feet to know that they are safe, that you are safe, that the energy of the earth connects to that cord, grounding you, filling you with trust that you are on the perfect physical embodiment journey. There is no judgment coming from the earth. There is no judgment coming from eternity. That eternal energy also bundles you in trust, in safety, guidance, knowing that you are on the perfect journey. Let's inhale all of that knowing, seeing that light nice and strong. And exhale out. Beautiful. Blinking your eyelids open and closed. Allow yourself a smiling in-breath. This is where you lift the corners of your mouth when you inhale. Awesome. Shake your hands loose. A really fun one to re-energize is to let your elbows lead your hands, kind of like you're shaking water off your hands. Yes, I like to bounce my knees while I'm doing this. Awesome. Beautiful. So much beauty, so much beauty. Oh, way to go, everyone. You're so active. I can feel the activation. Okay, and so now, lastly, let's go ahead and come to a seated position. And I have an affirmation for you. And at the same time, I would love to have everyone go ahead and get out that, go ahead and get out that journal. And maybe you even have a favorite pen that you'd like to get out. But let's connect for just a few moments. What sensations did you notice in your body? Lucia, would you type that into the chat for me? What sensations did you notice in your body? And get as graphic or all of the things, whatever's bubbling up, anything that you felt in your body. Because after we write that in the chat, great, thank you, Lucia. And I will share with her a few more questions, but let's start with that one for just a moment. What sensations did you notice in your body? I'm going to turn on a little bit of music in a moment. There we go. Okay, beautiful. Next question I have for you is, what did you feel? If it's a different answer for you, what did you feel? Because oftentimes sensation starts in the body, and then the feelings and the thoughts start to trickle through. Usually it's the body. And sometimes we don't feel our bodies. And I've talked about that with some of you here. We've talked about that discussion. What did you feel? Okay, Lucia, can you write, what did you feel? Okay, and then lastly, what part of wildness, freedom, and authenticity can you take forward from this exploration in your life? And I'm just going to paste this one, Lucia, because I know that was a big one. What part? Here's the chat. There you are. There you go. What part of wildness, freedom, authenticity can you take forward from this exploration today into your life? Okay, it looks like most pens are slowing down. I would love to support everyone here in being seen, being witnessed, being heard. I loved, Michelle, how you said, say one word. That would be fun. We could do popcorn style and have everyone go around and share a couple pieces that you want to take forward. But I'd love to start with the question, like, what did you feel in your body and what did you feel in general, like feeling emotions or having thoughts or judgment or any of the above? So who would love to go first?
Ladies, Jesus. Okay, I'm not going to go first next time. I'm not. I felt emotional and physical at the same time, as simultaneous like heat all over and like movement of blood. Like I could feel my blood moving when I changed. Like, oh, it was so sexy. And then emotionally, I was like, wow, I feel cleaner, like clean, like after a night of drinking, you feel horrible. I feel cleaner. And I have like a really pristine vision of how I get to embrace my wild energy ideas. And I know now it's not wild energy, it's wild ideas. And I've been pushing them and oppressing them. And so no more. Here I come.
I'd love. Thank you. I celebrate you. And what are your ideas to take forward of how to connect? Because that might support everyone here. What would be an activation or a piece of you that could support you in reclaiming that wild, the wild ideas? Let us know.
I find that unless I quiet myself down, I don't have access to my greatness and my brilliance and my genius and all of the juice. So I would say that I get to compel more quiet time, more personal time, more self-care, self-love, because that has been totally missing from my life. I'm complete.
Yeah, I am complete. Thank you, Paula. Thank you. Outstanding. Who else would like to share? Don't make me read the chat, but I will.
Well, I'll
So
go if nobody else is up, but cut me off, anybody. So shame came up. And then I guess what I'm taking away is just, like really get to mind body connection. I loved being pregnant, and I noticed there's some kind of permission I gave myself when I was pregnant to be in my body, be with my body. And then the moment that ends, like I disconnect again. And so just that mind body connection, I feel like that's the missing piece of my freedom. That's where I'm in my limiting belief around my body.
That's amazing. That's unlocking something for me, like the permission we give ourselves when pregnant, like eat all the things and feel all the movement, and like you feel blood in your fingertips, or there's so much. There is a lot of body activation going on. And then how interesting that you're having the awareness that you hit an off switch when that maternal, that the growing of the child is complete. That's fascinating. And how do you propose activating that body connection going forward?
I think you have some ideas, Andrea. I think you've got some ideas. I just get to join you a little bit more often.
Awesome. Yay. I am fully in support of that. I even had a yoga massage, a yoga Thai massage. It was very, very interesting. It was like on the floor, feet were going into me. There was like a little vibration gun. It was really fun and a little tiny bit painful, but not super painful. But she was saying, I was telling her that with my hips, I try to like get them straight while walking because sometimes I have a twinge, a pain. And she said, I would rather have you really, really walk really sultry and like let your hips do whatever they want to do than try to lock in and be something else. And my mind just went, so she was saying, embrace my vision, because I know you like to walk and jog, Kat. Yeah. My vision is you walking down the street like.
That would be a real stretch for me. So thank you for that.
Maybe you can do that when you get to the woods. Okay. Thank you, Kat, very much. I hope that supports everyone. Who would like to go next?
I'll go next. So for me, when I started the process of it all, I was feeling a lot of stagnantness in my body, just like this blah feeling. And as I really connected my mind to the light, to that zing going up and down my body, that's when movement really, like, my body was engulfed with like this like energy, like it went up my body and I was like, whoa. And once that happened, this giddiness just eloped my body and I was in excitement. And I was feeling this like wild child within me that was just, this is fun. This is exciting. Like, I just want to like move my body and I want to talk and I want to growl and I want to, you know, just be all the things. So it really felt very embracive. And moving forward with being able to tap into that, the thing that comes to my mind is very childlike. What are we taught when we're kids? We're taught songs, right? Head, shoulders, knees, and toes, right? So for me, if I can hone in on my body and that Paula had mentioned it, just that quiet time or just that realization of self-love and just getting playful with myself and doing head, shoulders, knees, and toes with that light inside of me. So not physically doing it, but doing it with my mind, because that's where the energy just starts. And it's like this mind connection to my body. And once that happens, it's just like there's this electricity within me that's just wanting to just move. So yeah, I'm complete.
Thank you, Brittany. Thank you. Yeah, and it's interesting how our brains are just as powerful as actually moving. Like I'm envisioning you actually, in particular, Brittany, doing head, shoulders, knees, and toes physically, and it's very fun, very, very joyful. It's very joyful. So that'd be fun. Even if you're sitting in a meeting, you could just for a moment imagine yourself doing head, shoulders, knees, and toes, and just crack yourself up a little bit, and reconnect with that joy. Just even that moment of a visualization in a serious situation could be extremely helpful, extremely supportive. Who would like to go next?
Bonnie. Hi. Okay, so for me, the sensations actually backtrack a little. When you asked us the questions about like the moments when we're growing up, when we're wild and free, I just brought up some memories of like being with nature and touching things and exploring things, like bugs. And like today as an adult, I don't like seeing bugs, but in the past, like I love, exploring the like caterpillars and, seeing them become butterflies, and drawing, and just, I think the word is exploration. And when we were doing our movement with you, the movement activation, my sensations were like tightness to relaxation and stretching, right? Because we're exploring different parts of our body, which seems to be the theme. And when I'm in exploration, I feel joy. So
Thank you.
I think that's my action.
Yeah, thank you, Bonnie.
Explore.
Yeah, explore. I love that. And I definitely have seen photos of you in nature for sure. So I know you're embracing that. And it's like, so how can we, like, maybe it's like an imaginary hat that we put on, like, I'm going to put on my explore hat, even though there's a bug in my house that I don't want to deal with. I actually was at a networking event last night and I caught a spider in the bathroom because I was like, well, the next person to see it's going to kill it. So there were cups there. And so I washed the cup, dried the cup, stuck it over the spider, grabbed a cardboard, slid it underneath, and then walked outside of the party with a spider in a cup. This was a great conversation starter. And also I think it showed like who I am. Like I try my darndest not to kill spiders. It's a rare moment where I'm like, ah, I really try to capture them and take them outside and put them on a bush away from my house. But yeah, so how could we be more explorative to bring up that childlike nature? Yeah. Okay, who else would like to share?
Okay, looks like it's gonna be me. Hi, Andrea.
Hi, Laura.
Okay, so when we went through the sensations, I felt lightness of feeling light, and the vibration and unity, onesomeness. I wrote onesomeness, the feeling of being aligned, In feelings, in feelings is what I just finished saying. So in feelings is the completion, like I was connected, mind, body, and spirit. Succeeded. And what I'm taking with me is to be spontaneous and playful.
Mm.
Mhm.
And do you have a favorite method to support spontaneity in your life? Or is there something you might feel coming forward right now?
It's coming.
Okay.
I don't have yet a code of action.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's something that is brewing.
Got it. And the being in the I don't know, Kat and I have talked about this in the past. We are taught to know, man. We are taught like figure it out, turn on the brain, figure it out. What about being in the wonder? It's interesting. We did the sacral activation, and that area is known for its mystery. Like the womb is really like quite, it's warm and things are marinating and changing and shifting. And so it's interesting. Yeah, we get to you can let it marinate. You can be in the I don't know and be in the wonder. And that is a perfect, wonderful place to be as you're exploring where spontaneity gets to come in more in your life. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
okay to not know. We get to celebrate that.
Thank you.
Okay, we're getting very close to the hour, so I'd love to, unless anyone else wants to hop in, I'd love to allow Kat to guide us out.
There we go. Yeah, you're complete, Andrea.
Yes, I feel really great. I do have let's see, there's a video series. Well, let me just say there's a video. If you'd like some explorations around this challenge around connecting with your wild and your free, I find that the opposite of that is the inner protector or the inner critic. And so I have, if you go to andrealuzon.com/10 ways, it's like 10 dash ways. She's giving it to you right now. Lucia is giving it to you. It's that top link. So the 10 dash ways, there are like very short, like 5-minute videos that are ideas to support you in shifting from maybe some criticism, maybe some staying in the analyzer, staying in the logic, to like embracing the wild, embracing your inner child. And there's a video, actually the last video, if you make it to the last video, because you get one at a time. If you make it to the last video, that one's a pretty sensual one. So, I'll just drop that there. See if you can click on see if you can get to the end, and then that's the one that's really it's very activating.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. And what's really coming forward for me today, like in the context of the 3 days, is the physicality. Because it can be like, so much of this stuff I feel like can be like esoteric, can be in our head, and we get to embody it. We get to be mindful there gets to be a physical piece to this creativity, flow, love mindset, right? It gets to be running through our body, and yeah, that's what's really just coming forward.
I agree, because back when we were tribal, there was so much more movement.
Right.
So much more movement. Even when we were, harvesting like berries from trees, or or going on a hunt, or weaving a basket, there still was movement. There was more movement. And then let's not even start on like dance and song, and dance and song, those being big activators in our culture to transmute stuck energy and express ourselves and be seen and be wild, and more movement.
Yes. More movement, and just the limiting belief around movement, which is generational, right? It's like, how long have we been shamed into this is how you walk and this is how you move through the world and through your day and stuff like that. So it's a lot of unpacking to be done. Unleashing.
Yes. So thank you, everyone. It's been an honor to serve you for this last hour. I'm excited I believe our next presenter is going to support us in like
Hello, Eve.
Yeah, she was chosen to guide us out. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Andrea. More ways for you to stay connected with Andrea. I'll be sending out emails as well. Thank you for everybody who joined us and Andrea for this past hour. That was awesome. I loved the mind body connection. I loved the body activations and the body work. That was really, really awesome. So thanks, everybody. And